Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel where we talk about manga, books, and sometimes anime. As for today's video, I have a review that I've been planning to do for a really long time, but I finally decided to sit down, read the manga, and then record this video for you guys. Another thing I want to remind everyone is that I already did the reviews for the first, second, third, and fourth volume of Blood on the Tracks, and also please remember that these reviews are full of spoilers, so if that's something you don't like, please skip this video and I will see you all on the next one. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get started with Volume 5 of Blood on the Tracks. Before I start, let's rewind and look at Volume 4. So this is the fourth volume, and the reason why I have it here is because I'm going to remind everyone how the fourth volume ended, which was with Seichi's mom chasing him and the girl he likes, Futaka, I think is her name. Fukishi. I am very sorry. So Fukishi and their mom, Seichi's mom, is just chasing after them, and here she is. She finds them. They're hiding from her, obviously because they're scared, and we see how panicked Seichi is his mom, and he basically yells at his mom to go away. And the fourth volume ends with this panel, and she leaves them alone. So that's the fourth volume, a little recap. Now let's talk about the fifth one. This fifth volume, let's look at the cover. So this fifth volume that we have here, it continues with Fukishi and Seichi still at the park and basically talking about Seichi's mom and how she's very terrifying. Here it is. And Fukishi tells Seichi that he should go stay at her place and that basically no one in her house is going to notice that he's there. And so Seichi, as a way to get away from his mom, he goes with Fukishi. And let's remember that Seichi is a child. I think he's currently in middle school, if I'm not mistaken, and he's currently at the room, at his crush's room. So his reactions is very he's very shy. He doesn't know what to do. He feels very, I would say, out of place based on how he's reacting to everything. So here we go. And we also learned that in this chapter, Fukishi's dad has alcohol problems, and she lives with her grandma and her dad, but they don't really pay a lot of attention to her, and that's why Seichi can stay without anyone noticing that he's staying there. And yes, so Fukishi and Seichi get really close in this chapter, up to a point that Seichi has a very normal reaction. His body has a very normal reaction, and Fukishi basically tells him that she doesn't have like any extra sheets or bed covers, so that Seichi should sleep in her bed with her. And so that's what's going on in this chapter. And due to this, again, Seichi's body has a very natural reaction, which it was the way Shuso Ushimi illustrated that reaction. I was not expecting that. It's not explicit in any way, it's just it gives you the understanding of what happened to Seiichi without it being explicit, because at the end of the day, Seiichi is still a child that's going through some very traumatic situations that he doesn't know how to handle or control, or it's out of his reach how to react to all of this, and he's just having a really hard time. And Fukishi, they kiss, and this is the illustration. I think him remembering his mom has a lot to do with the first volume and how the first kiss he ever received and his mouth, let's say it was from his mother. And I feel like that has this panel right here and him remembering his mom after Fukishi kisses him has a lot to do with everything that has been happening all the way to this volume. And we see how traumatizing that first kiss was for him, as he doesn't know how to react to or how to behave after kissing Fukishi. Now he's gone into panic and he doesn't know again what to do with himself after experiencing this. So he feels uncomfortable and he's like, I need to go to the bathroom. And that's where we see what happened with his body. And I feel like the fact that he doesn't know that he was going to have that reaction, it goes to show in a way how his father is not very close with him. I hope that makes sense. I feel like in a way the I might be reaching here, but Shuzo Oshime, when Seiichi notices what happened, he's like doesn't know what is going on down there, so he's very surprised and he's like doesn't know what to do. And in my opinion, I feel like that's a way of Sushi Oshimi telling us that Seiichi's father is not very present in his life. I hope that makes sense. That's what I got from this. I don't know, everyone's going to have different opinions, but that's what I got. And then we see that Fukishi's dad was trying to get to the bathroom, but obviously he couldn't go because Seiichi was in there. Now the following day, the next day, there's a lot of rain, and we see that they are sleeping in the same bed, and he still doesn't know what happened there. Now we see that there's more about to happen, but they get interrupted by I think it's her dad, Fukishi's dad, who's telling Fukishi that there's someone at the door and that they're looking for Seiichi, which we all know it's going to be Seiichi's mom, who has been looking for him all through the night in the rain. And this is where we learn something really interesting, which it's being told by Seiichi's mom, which her name is, oh goodness, I forgot her name. Seiko, I think is her name. Yes, so I'm pretty sure her name is Seiko. So instead of calling her Seichi's mom, we're going to call her by her name from now on. So Seiko has been out and about looking for Seichi all through the night in the middle of the rain, and we see that she has now gone to Fukishi's house looking for him. And this is where we hear that the reason why Seiko is very overprotective of Seiichi is because when she was growing up, her parents never showed any interest or any love towards her, and she feels like she needs to give Seiichi everything she never got from her parents, and that is loving him, showing lots of love to him. And here we see her that she's like asking for forgiveness towards Seiichi because she feels like she's the reason why he ran away, which yes, she was the reason he ran away, but I feel like with this we now understand why Seiko reacts the way she does in some ways, but it is still very confusing because her reactions towards her son are very unhealthy. And we see that Seiichi is looking at all of this and he's just staring at his mom, having this reaction to him running away from home. And this is the reason why I feel like she's maybe making all of this up, because she knows Seiichi is there and he could be hearing, because she was having such a breakdown here in all of this on these panels, and then we move to this and she looks very calm to me. So who knows, she might be telling the truth, maybe not. And this is Seiichi's reaction to everything his mom just said. And now Seiko decides to just leave and go find Seiichi at another place, since they told her that he wasn't there. And so she is now leaving. And during all of this, Fukishi's dad gets very suspicious and decides to go talk to Fukishi himself. And this is where we see that Fukishi in a way is kind of being a bad influence on Seiichi. I feel like Fukishi should also focus on her family problems, because she also has a lot, starting with the fact that she doesn't get along with her dad, which we see here that her dad discovers that Seiichi was staying with her this entire time. And obviously her dad is not very happy, but Fukishi has this very cold not caring about her dad, and his his feelings or his reactions is just very matter of fact, and it seems like she really doesn't care. And we see how Fukishi and her dad don't have a very good relationship, especially with the fact that Fukishi's dad doesn't really like her. I feel like that's what I got from this panel. Like, he has some resentment towards her because she reminds him of Fukishi's mother. And Fukishi decides to throw this CD player at her dad. Like I said, Fukishi should focus on her family problems and leave Seiichi alone. Now, let's move on to when Fukishi and Seiichi run they run away and they decide to hide underneath a tunnel. And that's where, you know, they start to get a bit closer to the point where Fukishi decides to continue what was happening at her room before they got interrupted. Of course, Seichi is having a lot of trouble trying to process everything that just happened to him in the last 30 minutes. His mom has been looking for him the entire night. He's traumatized by everything he just learned of his mother, how she wasn't treated with love or with care when she was a child. And then he sees Fukishi fight with her dad, and now Fukishi's like, run away with me, let's run away. She basically, take me away with you, far away. And Seiichi, obviously being a child, doesn't know how to react, how to process everything that just happened to him. And so this is where Fukishi kisses him again. And again, it gets to a point where all Seiichi can think about is his mother. And I feel like maybe he feels guilty for running away, and because he feels like he's going to leave his mom alone. And this is this image right here, I feel like this is the point where Seiichi has had enough and his psyche just broke, and that's why he has this reaction of like, I don't even know how to explain this. It's just, I feel like he was having, everything that just happened was too much for him to handle, and now he's gone and frozen up and doesn't even want to speak again, and he's crying and he's just having a hard time processing everything. And you know, it makes me feel sad and very frustrated, because you would think that Seiichi is just getting hit left and right, up and down, and there's obviously no other responsible adult there to help him. Obviously his dad is not there, his mom is a mess, Fukishi is just as much of a mess as her mom, obviously less dangerous than his mom. But I feel like Seiichi needs a break, and yeah, he's finally had enough, and he decides to leave Fukishi under the bridge. He left his shoes and his jacket, but he has basically left her by herself underneath that bridge. And that's how the 5th volume ends, with Seiichi running away, which I honestly feel he should run away from both Seiko and Fukishi, because these two are just re-traumatizing Seiichi. And yeah, I don't know where this story is going to go after this, because when you think about it, I feel like Seiichi felt safe with Fukishi, but now everything that has happened, it kind of ruined that for him. So now he has nowhere else to go. So I'm scared. And we get this little drawing of Seiichi, and then we see that he wrote like a diary, and I'm going to read everything that he says. So in this first one, it says, "My mother touches me a lot. When I yawn, she sticks her finger sideways into my mouth. When I close my mouth on it without realizing, she laughs. Tee-hee-hee, mother, thank you for everything. Please keep thinking about me forever." Then this is another one. My mother's name is Seiko. The sei in her name is the same as in mine. My mother is always thinking about me. When I have a fight with my friends or when I feel sad, my mother always notices and asks me what's wrong, and she always understands how I feel. And this is a letter from Seichi's mom. So I'm going to read it. It says, "Dear Sei, when you were born and I thought hard about your name. Choosing a name is very important. Your name may even decide your whole life. The sei in our names means quiet. Ever since I was a child, I felt that I had to be quiet because my name was Seiko. I was jealous of the lively girls who could just say whatever they wanted. But I like where I am very much. Quietly looking all around, I want to quietly give you all of my love. That's why I gave you the sei from my name along with the ichi from your daddy Ichiro's. Please let me keep watching over you forever. Love, Mommy." So I feel like with Seiji's letters, we get to see how Seichi is very close with his mom. And I just realized I read this wrong. So I should have started with this and then ended with this. I am sorry. But we see how Seichi is very close with his mom, as he never mentions his father in this small letter. But I think we might be getting more of Seichi's letters in the following volumes, and I cannot wait to see how it should slowly go from being this innocent and cute to something a bit more sad and tragic. I don't know how to feel about Blood on the Tracks. It keeps getting deeper and darker, and it's just it's hard to read. So here's a preview of the following volume, and that's it for volume 5 of Blood on the Tracks. So let me know if you guys have been reading Blood on the Tracks, if you have read it already, if you're up to date to the print. Who's printing this? Vertical. If you are up to date, please leave. Does it get worse? I need to know. I planned on doing more of these video reviews for Blood on the Tracks, as I have seen a lot of people are interested in it, but just like me are a bit afraid of getting into such a dark psychological thriller, and they might be nervous. So that's why I make these videos, so that you guys can decide on whether or not you should read this story or buy the manga. Yes, so like I said, the following video review is going to be volume 6, and I've decided to just do one volume per video, so that hopefully this video is not as long as the other ones. And yeah, let me know what you thought of this video, this manga, and I will see you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.